I think we can all agree that SHTF is coming. I think we can all agree that there's a pretty good chance of it getting to the extent of World War III. When these big events happen, there needs to be documentation of things going on, especially in the areas that the media is not going to be, and in the areas where the media doesn't want to go. And if you're in those areas, documenting some of the events that go on might be important for the future of this country, to be the history of this country. So that's what I want to talk about today. So hey, what is up everybody? Once again, thanks for checking out this video and the channel. Any support for the channel is awesome. In fact, it is. Indeed, it is awesome. Much appreciated. So I want to talk about documenting these things that are happening. A lot of people are talking about what's going on. A lot of people are talking about how to deal with SHTF coming, as in prepping. A lot of people talk about a lot of different things, but nobody really talks about documenting the events. Now, stories are always told. If you go back to World War II, when shit hit the fan there were a lot of people that documented it. Not a lot, there were some. And that was important information. The things that were going on, the stories that were told, the love and romance, the horror and killing, all this stuff comes together for a story. Now, one of the reasons I shoot YouTube videos is I enjoy using a camera. I enjoy being behind the camera, not so much in front of the camera. A little contradictory, but I enjoy being behind the camera. I enjoy taking pictures. And for me, it really started a long time ago, back in the 70s. I got my first camera and started taking my pictures, and I've enjoyed documenting parts of my life that seem to be significant. And I've taken a lot of pictures in my life. As a lot of people these days with the cell phone and stuff like that, a lot of people take a lot of pictures, but is it going to get documented? So real quick, I want to kind of talk about like some of the stuff that I've done, not to boast photography or anything like that, but no matter where I am, I like capturing things that aren't normally seen, which is really good for what's coming. Even the macro world, getting into taking pictures of a bug that's a millimeter long and seeing its facial expression. Things like that just are things that people don't normally see. A lot of people are fascinated by it because of that reason. People just don't see it. In SHTF, there's going to be a lot of stuff that people hear about but don't see, that don't have a record of it. Just like we look at stuff over in Europe going on. We don't know firsthand, but there's going to be stories told about the front line in Ukraine and Russia one day. Documenting these things is going to be a way. I got into landscape photography really big. I enjoyed seeing things in a certain light, figuratively and literally, that a lot of people don't get the chance to see. Different things. The majestic views of certain places, like the Grand Canyon, for instance, just to be able to stand there and take that all in. Storm photography. A lot of people see lightning. A lot of people don't see lightning as in the photography. It floats around the internet. Some of them become viral. Right now, it all flows around. Everybody's seen these types of pictures. Even when it comes to storm chasing, supercells, tornadoes, things of that sort. A lot of people just don't experience that. They're not face to face with it. So to be able to document something that a lot of people don't see is kind of important to me, as well as I find it pretty fun. Part of my YouTube channel is documenting things that are going on. YouTube isn't going to be here forever, but it'll let me document things in my journey as preparedness, my journey in possible survival, my journey in homesteading, farming, raising animals, all that kind of stuff. This is a journal. So I want to ask you guys, are you going to be keeping a journal? Are you going to be recording things that are going to be going on during SHTF? If you are, I got a few things to possibly think about, pros and cons to different ones that might be able to get you through the hard times. So first of all, most people, they think of journalism, they think of documenting things, they think of this. Now, it used to be a video camera, you know, one you'd throw up on your shoulder and walk around. It had JVC real big on the side with the VHS tape in it. Yeah, those days are pretty much over. This has taken the reign almost to professional levels. You get yourself a good quality DSLR. Many different digital cameras out there can definitely do a good job. The problem with these is in an SHTF situation, let's say the grid goes down, that's going to be the main focus of today. This is going to be very hard for upkeep. It takes a lot of power. Running video on these takes a whole lot of power, and even photography and stuff like that takes a lot of power. It takes a lot to process the images, process the video, and create a product out of your work. It takes a little bit. It takes energy. It takes electricity. The other bad thing to this is it's big, it's bulky. If you're walking around and you got your camera up in an SHTF riot, there's a good chance you can get taken out. Somebody's going to want it. This is money after all. This kind of camera gear gets well into the $10,000, $20,000 range for professionals, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like sports photographers, just one lens that they use runs at about $15,000, $20,000. So it adds up really quick, very expensive, bulky. It's going to put a spotlight on you. It's going to put you at risk, even though the main pro about something like this is the quality is going to be unmatched. You are just not going to be able to get the quality. You're not going to be able to get the lenses and the reach. You're not going to be able to get up close. You're not going to be able to shoot things the way you really want to shoot if you don't have something like this. But I honestly think all the negatives and the cons to an SLR system like this knocks it out of the race. So the next thing, and probably the most obvious, so this is a really good option. Now, first of all, you're not going to stand out with it. Anybody that's going to be just kind of looking like this, even though somebody's going to be able to tell whether you're doing this or doing this. This is casual. This is being suspicious. So just that little bit of a difference is going to set off red flags to people that you might be recording them for good or bad intentions. But they're extremely common. I mean, it's 100% common. Everybody's got a cell phone. People are going to hang on to cell phones for some time. People are going to hang on to cell phones when they can't even use them, with the hope that one day this is going to turn on again and start working again. People aren't going to let these go. So there are going to be cell phones out there. A couple things with this. If you're going to be documenting things on a cell phone, it's got some capabilities. The obvious video, photo. If you're going to be running video and photo, make sure to have a backup hard drive. Now they sell them that are basically like flash drives that'll go into the back of these. They also sell larger 2, 3, 5 terabyte hard drives that are going to take power. You're going to have to plug it in. You're going to have to use it that way. So if you can find something that is cordless, it's going to run off of the power of your phone. That might be best. I would say get the biggest capacity that you can. If you can find a 1 or 2 terabyte, you're going to be able to hold a lot of stuff on there. The other thing is micro SD cards. Whether you know it or not, phones take SD cards. Have a key to be able to get in and out of it. Keep that close by. That's going to be your lifeline. I would stock up. Now they sell 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte. I haven't looked at them in a little while, but I know they're selling at least 1 terabyte micro SD cards. You're going to need a lot of them. Let's just say you're going to be going through 3 years or 5 years. Think about how much data that's going to put onto a card. It's going to fill up many, many cards. And obviously it all depends on how much you use it. Now, if you go through, make an entry, a journal entry, a recording, a documentation once a month, yeah, you're going to be fine with just a couple cards. If you're planning on doing a daily thing, more like a journal, you're going to need a lot. Now, for me, if I was going to use a phone, I would directly upload it onto a hard drive and keep that hard drive under lock and key. To where even if your phone gets stolen or breaks or anything like that, you're going to have some sort of data, because that's all it is. It's data, video, photo, things like that, stored, so you're going to at least have most of it. If you get it all stolen, well, you get it all stolen. Another good option with the cell phone is voice recording. Just doing audio journal entries, so to speak, to where you can just hit a button, hit the app, speak into the phone, say what you got to say, stop it. That is going to take the least battery power. You may be able to run it in the background to where you can close your phone down to where you're not going to have it on. You can sit there and shut it off, which is going to save battery power on your phone. Honestly, you can get a lot of stuff in by word without video or photo. Photos, you're going to have it organized. You're going to at least have to remember through the whole situation what was going on at that time. Journals are good. Each photo has metadata to where it's going to be able to tell possibly exactly where you took the picture, what time it was, date, in all your settings. So you're going to have that information to set up. If you do pictures, also do an audio log or write stuff down so you can put the 2 and 2 together when it comes down to it, to look at all the stuff that you're going to have at the end of all this. So photo, video, voice, all really good things. All really good things. Now I do want to put a big emphasis on this. The obvious, a power source. Now the little Jackery that I've had out here, I put it away. I was done using it for the videos and stuff like that, but a small power bank that is going to power your source of documentation. It really doesn't have to be big. The Jackery that you've seen in my videos before is probably too big. You can get power banks that are almost the size of a cell phone that have solar on the back. But if you can pick up something that maybe a little bit bigger that you can plug a solar panel into, throw it on the back of a backpack, put it outside, anywhere that you're at, to be able to charge that solar bank, the battery bank, that'll in turn charge any of your devices that I'm going to be talking about today, except for one. And it's going to be able to keep you going. So definitely a source of power, plenty of storage, and you can go to town. So the next thing is a drone. Now this guy, I haven't had it out in a while, but this is my Mavic Pro. I like this drone. It's a very good drone. It's fairly quiet. Pros and cons to this. The con right off the bat, the batteries don't last. You're going to spend a lot of time with the sun to use this to document things. But I have my whole pack in a case right here that has got all my stuff, extra batteries, multiple chargers, extra propellers, all that kind of stuff. This is kind of an all-in-one go-to package. But this is going to eat up a lot of batteries. Also, it's video only. Well, no, you can do photos with it, but the strong point for this is kind of a covert video application, to where you'll be able to get up really high, you'll be able to take pictures of areas, take video of areas, take videos of cities burning down, crime, and you're not going to be touched because you're not going to be holding this. Now you got to be careful if you're going to piss somebody off in the process of recording them committing crimes in a social distress or something like that, or martial law or anything like that. People are going to be coming for you. They're going to be coming for you to get the information that you got, and they're going to be coming for you to take your drone. Drones are going to be very sought after in SHTF. In any sort of collapse in this country, these are going to be important. They're going to tell a lot of stories. They're going to hold a lot of value. Surveillance, all kinds of stuff. But as far as a drone goes, you're going to be able to go out a couple miles, get a situation, record a situation, and you're probably going to be able to get back untouched. Now, this flies at about 35 miles an hour, the way the crow flies. Nobody in a car is going to be able to keep up with that. They're going to get a basic direction of where it went, but that's going to be it. Especially at nighttime, they're not really going to be able to track you. Of course, you're going to have people out there with night vision and thermal and stuff like that, but I wouldn't worry about that too much. The whole world is not stocked up like a military. They are very few and far between. So as far as ditching people, staying away from the harm of people in the bad situations, this could be a good option, but it's an absolute power hog. So you're going to have a really good source of power to be able to use something like that, but at the same time, you're also going to be taking the chance of somebody finding out about that power and coming to take it for themselves. So another one, good old-fashioned notebook. Plenty of pencils, plenty of pens, and just start writing stuff down. I got some blank pages there ready to go. Writing is going to be good. It's going to be good for your mental state. It's going to be good to release things just like a journal is. This could be good for more levels than just recording things, but you can definitely record this. It's lightweight. It does not take power. That's a very important thing. So just being that that does not take any power has got a few heads up on some of the other options. And you're going to be able to document everything through writing, which isn't necessarily going to be the best, but you're going to be able to document it safely and free. Just the investment of a couple dollars on a notebook, lots of pencils, lots of pens. Keep that, throw it in a backpack, bring it with you everywhere you go, and you can jot things down. Now, I do want to intersect in here and mention one thing. If you do document any of the stuff that's going to be going on, make sure you have a time and date, at least a date. Today is, April 3rd. This is what's going on. April 3rd, 2025, 2027, 2029. Anything like that. Just make sure to document when you're talking about something, because there's going to be a lot of information lost, mixed up. Was it here? Was it there? Who was that? Things like that. So definitely document when you're taking things, just like in the movies. Journal entry, March 3rd, 2025. This is what I found. Same type thing. Now, being incognito is going to be one of the most important things when it comes to journalistic documentation, if you will. When it comes to people doing bad things, when it comes to you're trying to get something that people don't normally see, well, those people probably don't want anybody to see it as well. So you're going to have to be very casual, very kind of slick and incognito. I've even thought about a chest rig or something like that, but yeah, the footage is horrible. It's not even worth wasting the time to do something like that. A cell phone's going to be really good for the facts that I mentioned. It's totally normal to have a cell phone and be looking and stuff like that. There may still be people recording things for a while as long as they have power and they're able to charge this. But there's something I think is a little bit better. GoPro. This is an old one, still works fine. Again, it's going to be taking micro SD cards, so stock them up. If you have a way to transfer SD or micro SD to hard drive, or this to hard drive or something like that, that's going to be paramount. But you're going to want to be able to save all the information, save the videos, the pictures, everything. Now, the thing with the GoPro is they're extremely light. This is quite a bit lighter than my cell phone. And I wouldn't even mention a GoPro. I'm saying a GoPro because this is what I have. This is what I would do my driving videos for storm chasing. I'd have this up on the dash so I can film myself and it's not very obstructive. There's a lot of people that have these things in a window just pointing right at them, and this is how they drive and all that kind of stuff, you know, just like this. I find it annoying. They're very cumbersome setups to use. Yes, it's going to give you really good quality, but a GoPro ain't bad. It's not bad, especially these new ones. Now, like I said, I'm saying GoPro because this is what I have, but any action cam, they make them that are better. They make them smaller, slimmer, more incognito. The I forget the name of the company, but the 360, Insta360, very nice. It's like smaller than this, you know, I mean, like that, you know, and you can put it in a pocket, you can hang it, you can get it into more places. It's going to be weatherproof when it comes to something like this, so you're going to be able to document things in the weather, the rain. If you do need to get out of a situation and get into water or something like that, this is all going to be protected. Weatherproof will be really, really nice. Now, I would suggest using one of these, disguise it. Disguise it. Throw some tape all over it, take branches, go ghillie suit on this thing. Keep it very incognito. Everything but what you need, and you need to learn that, what you're going to need with that lens, visible. Of course, you don't want to go through filming a whole bunch of stuff and years of documentation just to find out, well, there's a piece of tape cutting off half of the screen, you know. So yeah, you're going to want to do this smart, but definitely anything that's going to be glass, has a reflection or anything like that will get attention. But the more you can disguise something, not going to disguise this too much, the better off you're going to be. So this would definitely be my top pick. Of course, everything's going to come in handy. Having a nice drone is going to be essential for SHTF, documentation, safety, security, things like that. They're just very good to have. But when it comes to documenting everything that's going to be going on, I suggest an action cam. Again, with a power source, again, hooked up to solar, so you'll have an infinite power source to keep this thing going. Storage, SD cards, solid state hard drive, something like that's going to be good. Now, why would you want to do this in the first place? Well, there's going to be a couple reasons. One, there's a good chance your life is going to change in the process of doing it. Documenting that is going to be important for you. It's going to be important for your family. It's going to be important for anybody else that might seek it. Now, journalistic. Movies are going to be made. Books are going to be written. TV series are going to start for what we're about to go through, for what we are about to experience. I honestly think this is going to change the world as we know it. Just about everything we know as our easy life right now is going to be scrambled up, thrown in a blender, and spit out to the pigs. Everything is going to change. Everything's going to change. And I find it very interesting to be able to document this. I find it very interesting that I am going to be living through this situation. I find it very interesting that I have the equipment to document it all. Now, am I expecting a movie to be made out of my GoPro footage? No, not necessarily. But I do think it's going to be important to document history, to be able to put a visual with things, to be able to put words to memories. Alright, well, my battery died there, so this is going to be a weird cut right here because it took a minute to get back to my camera, but I know I was basically wrapping everything up. It's going to be very important to document everything for multiple reasons. And are you considering it? Or have you thought about this? Me personally, I definitely have. A lot of my life is with the camera. Taking pictures, videos, different stuff like that. Started YouTube videos back in 2008, you know, just showing my photography and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's been, you know, a big part of my life, technically all the way back to the 70s. So, am I going to document things? Absolutely. I'm probably going to use all of these, but mostly an action cam and a cell phone. These are going to be my two babies. They both take the same card, and they're both easily charged. Now my GoPro does not take very long to charge, and if I use it correctly, it's going to last a long time. Definitely low resolution. You know, don't go like 4 pixels for the frame, but you know, shoot at 720, no high def, no 4K, anything like that. It's going to take up way less room on your cards, and it's going to make your batteries last a lot longer as well. I am always got multiple books, so that will be the good old faithful. But I do definitely, I'm thinking about recording everything, putting out YouTube videos for you to watch, and things like that, at least as long as I can, until I can't anymore. I will probably use this until the power goes out, and I'll probably use this until the solar goes out, and then I'll use this until my pens and pencils go out. Hopefully I should have everything documented by that time. And by the time I'm done with that, we're going to find out if we won or lost this whole mess. So, all right, I'm going to leave it with that. Let me know what you're planning on doing. If you're planning on doing anything, have you thought about this? Do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea? There's definitely dangers involved with it, but there can be some historical significance with it as well. So I will leave it with that. I appreciate you guys watching. I will talk to you next time. Peace.